Hey guys, okay, so I am ready for my my next step. I want to show you guys what I've done so far, what I have left, where I'm at in the process. Before I get started though, I do want to add, I realized after I cut up all my papers that I had, and it's not a huge deal, but I had forgotten to leave a few of them like bigger sizes, so I like to have some that are like 10 by 10 or 10.5 by 10.5 or 11 by 11, so I can double map my my background. And so what I did is, because I had so many background papers that I had pulled, as I grabbed like 3 or 4 of them and cut them so I had some larger squares. And I just forgot to do that. So when you do your cutting, you want to make sure you have, if you like to, do like a layered like background as far as larger layers, then, be sure to leave in some larger ones there. I had some big pieces I left big, but I didn't have any, the square ones that I like to put. Say if I have like a busier background, and then I would put like a 10 by 10 that's not so busy. And anyway, so I did do that, but I had so many background pages to start from that wasn't a big deal. It hardly made a dent. And so I had wanted to make that point just so that you didn't forget to do that, and it ended up working out well. Once I did that, then I had from like 11 by 11 squares down to the 3 by 4 journaling cards, down to actually the die cuts, which were smaller. So I had a huge variety of sizes to work with, which is really good for layering and having options for you. So anyway, so I have completed my process, except for one page I'm going to do here, of putting the paper, some die cuts and other things onto the background. So right now the base, what I call the base of my page, is done. Kind of similar to like Shamel Lane's starting points. So I have a starting point, and my next step now is going to be to go through each one of them and do some, splatter some mist, do some stamping, just kind of spruce up the background a little bit. And then I will get my photos on the pages, and then after the photo goes on, I will then do all the finishing touches. So I will finish, maybe putting some more die cuts on the page. I will get the stickers and the enamel dots and the photo corners and all that stuff out from the rest of the Amy Tan kit, and finish embellishing the pages. So also I did, this is what I have left basically from my huge pile. I did want to leave some larger pieces of the paper, because when I add my photos, I may want to have photo mats. I might want to add some more layers underneath the photos depending on how they go with the way I have the background set up. And so basically I have these left for the border strips, but my plan is to use them all after I get the photos on. I wanted to wait till I had photos on to see where they would fit the best. And I only have this many die cuts left. So I've used quite a few in this first step, but my goal is to use as many of these as possible in my last step, which will be when I do my embellishing. And a lot of these are smaller, so it makes sense to wait until I have a place to put them on the top layer. I have a few tags left, which I don't think I'll have a trouble. I think I used all the pockets. So most of these I put inside those vellum pockets. So the rest of these are probably going to be used as layers on the pages. So, there's nothing to see. I'm not going to add in more layers as I add my photo and decide what direction the page is going to go for sure. So these will be, I don't think I'll have any problem getting those used up. And then I have quite a few of the cards left. But again, these are perfect for journaling and adding in extra little layers. And then this is it for the 6x6 here. And these will be great for using for matting too if I need to mat some photos and things. So it's good to have that size. And then this is all I have left of the scraps. And again, like I said, I'll still use up quite a bit of these when I'm finishing up my pages. So now these two here, I've decided not to use. I think I'm going to hold on to them, and I think this navy blue would be really pretty as a photo mat if I have blue elsewhere in the page, as well as this one. I'm just not a fan of either one of them, and so I'm going to hold on to them to use as photo mats. Otherwise, if I don't use them, I'm just going to put them in my stash and call it good. I have no qualms about doing that. I've used so much of this paper line. So, and then this is my last background that I still have yet to put pattern paper on. And so I was just going to go through a process with you of how I did the rest of them, and then I'll show you them, and then I'll pause and then do my misting and stamping and stuff, and then go through that part with you. So here I have this beautiful background. I love these. It's like a craft colored heart. There's a big one down here and then little ones, and it's just really pretty. And so I think I just sift through what I have, and you know, it's easy to say, oh gosh, I wish I still had some of that paper left, or I used all that up on another layout. And I just treat it as, you know what, this is like limiting yourself to a kit, and I have what I have, and I'm going to use what I'm going to use, and that will challenge me to try something new and to not go back to my normal, you know, what I'm used to. I wonder if there's enough light. I think we're okay. So I have what I have in front of me, and that's what I'm going to work with. So I am sifting through what I have left here, trying to figure. I would love to have mix this with pink, but all the pink I have left are also hearts, and I think that's going to be too busy. So I'm trying to think how this would look, which I actually kind of like because it has that toned down craft in here. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not, this definitely is not my favorite Amy Tan line. It's been, I don't know if it's, the paper pad is usually a little bit lighter colored and not as crisp as like when you get the paper individually. I don't know if that's it, or if I'm just having trouble with the patterns and colors, or what the deal is. But this definitely is not my favorite paper line to work with. And I still like it. It's still very cute. I think once I get the embellishments on, I know I'm going to love it. So I'm really not worried about it. I just have had a little bit harder time working with this than, that's cute, than I usually do. So I think I love these multicolored things here. And I just noticed something, and this is how I work. This is totally off subject. But I was looking into my bucket, and part of the Amy Tan collection has these chipboard pieces, and these will be great to cover with leftover pattern paper. So that's another reason to keep a little bit on hand of the scraps. So if you have something like this that you want to use it with, then I'll be able to do that. So anyway, just completely off topic, but they caught my eye, and I remembered, oh gosh, I'm glad I still have some paper to use to cover those with. So anyway, I am liking how this is looking. I feel like I need like a solid, I don't know if I'm doing a polka dot though. Or I could do, or just a little different. Let's see what my cards I have here. Let's see here. That's pretty. That yellow's pretty, and it really brings out the yellow. Once you add that, look at how much that yellow pops in there. I really like that. I'm gonna go with that. Okay. Okay. So real simple. I'm just layering. I'm just moving it around and playing with it, and just providing a place for my photo to go, and then I can build around it however it ends up working. So I'm gonna go with that. I do glue on the inside and not on the edges because I may want to tuck some things in. And I will glue it better towards the end when I am ready to do the final touches on the layout and feel comfortable with how it looks. Okay, and I think, let me see if I have any die cuts that I want to, could add something there. I feel like I need something else dark, which I could do, or maybe keep it light. Turn that off. I know this is very, like I said before, a lot of people are probably like, what in the world? I don't like that because it's white on white. I'm not a fan of that. And I know some people question, you know, losing your ability to, ooh, I like that a lot too. Have, you know, for instance, if you use a paper that you wish you would have saved or that kind of thing. And again, like I said, I treat this as though it's, you know, when you have a kit that you're working with or you go to a crop, you limit yourself. You have to. I used to go to crops and I used to, I mean, take half my room with me. It was ridiculous. My entire car would be packed because I would say to myself, well, if I'm working on that layout, I might need this, or I might need this, or I might miss this if I don't have it with me. And of course, I don't end up using 90% of it. And so now I pack kits and things like that to go on crops. And it's made me realize that if you have what you have, you'll work with what you have. And so that's kind of the mindset I go into with this type of thing is, you know, yeah, I may say, gosh, I wish I had a bigger piece of paper in this pattern. But at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, here's what I have to work with, and that's it. And it makes me be more creative, and that's what I love about it. Is it's really made me say, okay, these patterns I probably would never put together, but I know maybe if I distress this pattern a little bit, or add some ink, or whatever, then I can make it work. And I just come up with so many more ideas and solutions and pattern mixing techniques and things that I never would have come across without that. So anyway, that's my little soapbox for those of you who are like, terrified at this concept. And like I said, if it's not for you, it's not for you. If you want to try it like with an older paper line, that might be a better bet for you. But hopefully after you see the amount of layouts I made and how they turn out, hopefully you'll be motivated to give it a shot because I really love it. So anyway, I know I can do this later. I'm feeling like I need another heart over here. I'm just going to look really quick to see if I have something. If I don't, I'll do it when I add my embellishments. I don't know if I have any more heart. Oh, I do. Ooh, I like it. No, I don't like it. Like it needs to be a different color. So I'm gonna wait. I'll add an embellishment to it from the sticker sheets or the sticker book or whatever. So I'm gonna leave this like this, and then I'll finish it off when I get to the embellishment part of the phase. Or the embellishment phase of the process. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly show you excuse me, the rest of the layouts, the backgrounds I have done. It's quite a pile. Some are simple, some have more layers, some just have a couple, and I may add more to them. You know, you still have that freedom to just do whatever you want with them. So here's one, and here I just kind of sit on this side. I tend to go towards the middle and do like 3 different sizes of papers together. That tends to be my comfortable spot. So here I did something a little different and started from the side and went this way. And I'll probably tuck the photo in here and then maybe either just stay on this page or work, or I'll figure it out once I get the photo in there. Here's another one, and again, just layers of the papers. This is a drilling card, 6x6 paper. Again, I kind of took this from the left, and I kind of had to because I did want to show this. And that's another thing is papers that are like this, or papers that I've added like die cuts to that have words or phrases on them, they may limit me a little bit on what kind of photo I can put on there, and I'm okay with that because I'm not going to have any trouble. I can also cover that stuff up. So if I have a die cut that says beautiful and it doesn't match the photo that I end up wanting to use on that page, I can always cover that up with another word sticker or something else. So that's definitely not the end of the world. Here's one. Wish you can see it all. And here I just stuck with the green and this tan color, and thought that turned out really pretty. Totally not something I probably would have done on my own without being limited in my options, but I think it's a really pretty combo, and I know I have some pictures that I can use for it. So, excuse me. Okay, now this one kind of had the work done for me. It had these like lines here, and I just filled in the spots with pieces of pattern paper. So that's a situation where I did have to cut up some of these to make them work in that area, and then I'll probably put the photo like here and embellish from there. Okay, here's one where I did 4 6x6s and then just did some layering of some patterns, and the pattern has the gray. These are all gray based, and so I made sure to get a pattern that had that same color to pull that background color in, and then it has a yellow background, so there's yellow in here and yellow here. I added in another gray die cut, and then I'll of course embellish it more. Here's one. Here's a situation where I could definitely see myself either covering that or making a smaller one and like making it a double one that doesn't have the words. But the colors went really well, so I added it and think it turned out really cute. So there's that. And here I just layered a 6x6 cut piece of paper and then a journaling card. Here's another one. Here's where I use one of the pockets, and I just put in a tag, and I'll just add ribbon to the top here. I haven't added a lot of ribbon to the backgrounds yet. I've added ribbon to like these guys. I didn't do this one yet. So we'll see if I'm good about adding more to it or not. We'll see how that goes. But this one was very simple because the background already has a lot going. I just did something in the center here where I figured my photo would go, and then when I get my embellishments out, I have a feeling I'll embellish all these little boxes. We'll see what I end up doing with that. I'm not for sure. Another one here. Again, I did larger layers here and then a grouping here. Use another envelope with another tag, which will have a ribbon that I will add on to it. And I have these, these pattern papers are great because you have multiple colors and you can pull in other colors. So I got the pink, I have the brown, I have the green, and I have the yellow. So it all goes together, and it may look like very colorful or really busy, but once you add your photo and add your embellishments, it all works together, I promise. Some of these are going to look really busy, but once you get the picture going and that covers a bunch of the patterns, then it's definitely not as busy as what it looks like, by itself. This was a fun one. This one had the tickets already pre-printed, so I just took that and moved it up with the patterns, just layered some 6x6 and some scraps and a die cut there. Because I just did this, I would say I've been doing it off and on throughout the evening, but this probably maybe took me, if I added up my minutes, after I cut everything, of course that took a little bit of time, but I would say 30 to 45 minutes max, probably. I just sifted through, figured out what worked, slapped it down. It was really not time consuming. Then I have this guy here, another pocket, another tag, and then just a bunch of layers. And this one here. Again, this is one where this die cut limits me, which I know I have some photos that will work for. However, if I choose to use a different photo, I can just, layer it, with something else and cover it up. Okay? So don't let that scare you. This one, very simple, just 2 layers here. Here I used some of the epoxy border there. And this one I love. I like it because the arrows, kind of point this way. So I made sure that my layering was there, and then the photo will go probably either here or we'll tuck in here somehow. I'll figure that out. So that one's a lot of fun. Love this one too. I love the bow. This one's a few more layers than the rest. I have a couple 6x6s, one of my scraps, journaling card, a pocket, which I haven't put anything in yet, so I'll probably stick a tag in that. So let me just put one in there just so it's done. I can always switch it out later. And I'll add ribbon to that, and I have my bow here, so it turned out really cute. Here's this one, a whole different color scheme, and the papers had lots of different colors, and depending on how you mix them together, you come up with completely different looks. And at this, again, just layers. Here I had punched some borders with some of my border punches before I started. And I did want to mention it too. I did that, and that's about the only thing I did with my scraps before I started putting them on pages. I talked about how you could die cut them, you could stamp them, you could do all these things. I decided not to do that. One, for time purposes, I wanted to get these videos up for you guys so you guys could see the entirety of the process before you decided if it was for you or not. But secondly, this paper line has so many embellishments to it, and you know, I have a sticker book and photo corners and all kinds of stuff. So I don't need any more die cuts. I don't need any other embellishments. So there's no point in me taking my time to do that if I don't have to. Now, if you have a collection kit that's light on the embellishments, then you might need to, you know, use your papers to create for yourself some more embellishments via punches or die cuts or whatever. So just know that I didn't choose to do that this time around. And I am still going. Here's another one here. Again, just layered papers, and I did this little border strip here that I made with a punch, a pocket, and a tag. That tag was part of the die cuts. Another one here. Here. I love this one. That one's really pretty. Here. 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 And here. Okay, so I'm going to count these really quick just to show you how many layouts. I mean, honestly, most of these I could add a photo and be done and call it good. I like to have more embellishment. I like to have a little bit more interest to the backgrounds as far as stamps and those kind of things. But if you're more simple and you don't like a lot of embellishment, then you could add your photos and call them good. Of course, I'm going to do a couple more steps just to get them to the point to where I like them, but that's different for everybody. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 layouts, you guys. Like, that is awesome. 24 layouts. Granted, they're not done. There's still some work to do on them, but the amount of time it would take you to sit down and do 24 layouts, one layout by one layout, and sift through your choices all through for every single one. The fact that you can kind of stage it and only work with certain products, put them away, work with different products, and do it in stages just makes it go so much faster. So, like I said, this didn't take me hardly any time at all today. I really just, and now if you have to think about it more, it might take you a little bit longer, especially if you haven't done it before. I tend to be pretty free with putting patterns together for the most part, and I know that it'll all come together when you add in your embellishments and things, and I can usually visualize that, and that I didn't used to be that way. I didn't used to be able to visualize how it would look once I was done, once I added the embellishments, but now I'm more comfortable with that. So anyway, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, again, start from this pile, the top of the pile, just work the way through. And I'm going to just randomly stamp where I think it would look good to have a stamp. And I'll probably just pick like one color. I'll probably do like a black or maybe even a dark gray. I think I'll do like a dark gray stamp because that tends to be it's neutral and it tends to be the color in a lot of the pages. I'm going to grab the Amy Tan stamps that I have and just try to get each one of them used a few times on the different pages, and then I'm going to just kind of sprinkle mist based on the colors and the layout around the page, and I'm just going to do that for my next step, and then I'll be ready for photos. And what I think I'm going to do for photos is, because of the color schemes, I don't think I'll have any trouble maybe getting some of my Disney photos scrapbooked with these colors. A lot of reds and pinks and yellows, a lot of bright colors. And so I think I might just grab my Disney albums and then just use them as my photos that I'm going to put on here. Some of them may not work, but for the most part, I don't think that'll be a problem. And then if I need to, I have all of these on hand still. So if I need, you know, say if I want to do like a couple photos here, but then I have 6 more photos I want to put in divided page protector or whatever, then I still have these on hand to use for that. So some of these may end up being 1 page of a 2-page spread using divided page protectors, if that makes any sense. So I'm open to, you know, expanding what the layout actually entails. So how long am I getting here? Okay, so I'm getting pretty long already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to go ahead and get my misting and my stamping done. Any other tweaks to the backgrounds I want to make, if I want to add in some more die cuts here, pattern papers there. I didn't see anything that really stuck out at me, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to say, oh, this, I need more color of this there, or this die cut would be really cute here. It doesn't mean that won't happen. And so then I'll be back. My next video will be to show you that completion of my background, and then I'll move on to getting my photos down and the embellishments on. So, if you have any questions, let me know, and we will be back soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.